Hello, this is Mr. Brooner here for a crash course in inequalities. I'm just going to write the graphs simple with just with the numbers beside the specific number it's looking for. So 4 and alright, so less than. It's an open if it's less than, since it's not doesn't have the equal sign on it. Now if it did have the equal sign, it'd be less than or equal to 4, and you'd fill it in. There's actually other numbers in here. So it goes to the left because that's the less than. Any number less than 4, 3, 2, whatever, it's going that way to show you that's what's there for the graph. So let's spice it up a little bit. -4. Well, that just starts. It's the same thing, except it just starts at the -4 instead of regular 4, and it's equal to. So you fill it in, and it goes to the less than side. Now, some teachers teach that the arrow points to which way it's going, which is fine, but only if the x is on the left side of the variable. So if this looks like this, you start at -4, and x is less than or equal to -4. It's actually the same thing as x is less than -4. See how that? It's the same thing as this. So we fill it in, and it's less than. Keep forgetting to put in my numbers. Note that -3 is greater than -4. So it's okay. Now let's get into a more complex situation. This looks like -x, but there is no -x really, except it's the same thing as negative. There's an invisible 1 in front of this x, so -1x is the same thing as -x. So we have to get rid of the -1. Can't have negatives in order to make it easier. So if you have the problem, and whenever you divide by a negative or multiply by a negative number with the inequalities, you have to switch the sign. So that becomes -2. Notice how that changes the entire thing. If you have x is less than 2, and you put a negative in front of it, you just put a -1, and you have to divide by and switch the sign, totally altering the problem. So don't fill it in. It's less than. So that's a lot different than x is greater than 2 if you had no negative in front of it, because it just totally alters it, switches it, changes the 2 to a -2. So be careful. Now we're going to get into more complicated matters. Alright, so we have -3. That's just like the -1, except it's bigger. So you divide by it and switch it, and that equals -4. And there you go. Now you fill it in because it's equal to. And alright. And now we'll get into do the same thing, except we'll make it division. -2 multiply to get rid of the fraction, and you have to do the opposite every time to get rid of that number by the variable. You have to multiply by -2 actually. So to get rid of the negative variable, switch it. That equals t, and that equals 20. Okay, so notice that this is on the other side. To make it easier for yourself, switch it around. 20, 21, 19. Fill it in because it's equal to. Now, more complicated yet still, but still easy to figure out soon enough. We've got -4 t minus 3 is 5. Get rid of the 3 by adding. Get 8. Divide by -4. Switch the sign, and you get -2. It's not equal to, so you leave it open. Alright, time for the ultimate problem. We'll put it on the other side, and we'll have a negative fraction, and we'll put some addition in there. Alright, get rid of the -2. So isolate the variable. -4, -t, negative. Alright, multiply by -3. Multiply by -3. And then you get, that gets rid of the negative. That is 12. And remember this, the trick I showed you. Switch it when you rearrange the variable. 12, 13, 11. Fill it in because it's equal to, and it's greater than. That's all for my crash course. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something.